I kid you not. I thought I was going to burst. I had to pee so bad. They were, okay. They were dripping. Okay. I was like, another hour. I was standing in line for 45 minutes. Before that, I was waiting to get my name tag for an hour. And I've been up since 4 o'clock. And I've had to pee since 4:45. It is now 7 o'clock. And then to wait until 8? No, ma'am. No. Hey, there's the restroom over here. I was like, okay, thank you. But I was thinking to myself, how am I going to get my pee back? Basically, like I need to pee again. And so I saw another water fountain, so I kept drinking water. So I did first it was my blood test. Oh, I'm sorry about my blood test. So before that, they had us, before I went to another room, they had us fill out some paperwork, yes and no questions, and do not put anything down. This is just a tip. Do not put anything down that your recruiter doesn't know about. Basically the same questions that they're going to ask you on a piece of paper that you get at MEPS, you've already filled out with your recruiter. Don't put something opposite, because that can get you disqualified. If it's like something really serious, just put what you talked about with your recruiter. Don't put anything else, because a friend that I made at MEPS did that and she got disqualified, and so now she got disqualified from that branch, I guess. I don't really know, but don't do that. Just don't do that. Just put what you talked with your recruiter about. That's what I did. I was like, yes, no, like just put what you talked to your recruiter about. Just a tip. After that, so they had to fill out this paperwork and everything, and so once we were done with that, he's telling us that we're gonna go to a different room that I was telling you guys about, and then you're going to get your blood test. And this particular gentleman, sir, was, I want to say Army. I believe he was in the Army, and he was funny though. And he was like, well, I'm not saying Army people aren't funny, I'm saying he was funny in general. And he basically was saying that, you know, we appreciate when you say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. I was like, okay, you know, I got to get used to that. For me, I consider myself to be very respectful to others, you know, especially my elders. However, I don't tend to say ma'am and sir. It's not that I'm being disrespectful, it's never been part of my vocabulary or my conversation. It's just, I mean, from time to time I may say it, but it's not something I continuously say. So I was like, okay, I gotta get used to this. Like, I told myself that before I even got to MEPS. So I was like, when I thought about enlisting, I was like, okay, I gotta practice saying yes ma'am and no sir, because that's respect, you know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, I can do that. But when he told us that, like, it's gonna happen right now, I was like, okay, gotta do this. So this particular sir was taking my blood. I was like, come on back, ma'am, you know, has blood been taken out before? And I said yes. Have you had blood drawn before? And I said yes, blah blah blah. And then, but I had said yes, and I had to catch myself, because he asked me, he wouldn't say anything to me. He wasn't going to say anything to me, but he said, okay, he asked me another question, and I said no. And then he asked me another question. I was thinking to myself, I was like, no sir, Lauren, no sir. So I had to continue telling myself yes, no, ma'am, sir, blah blah blah. And so I was like, yes sir, no sir. And then he started smiling, which that made me happy, because I felt like I was doing something right, you know. And so I'm getting a pimple. Ow. But yeah, so that's something I really need to work on. I've been trying to do that, but it's a little bit difficult, because it's not something that I have ever needed to do, that I was required to do. Like, I'm required to do that in the military now, basically. So I need to practice that for sure. But then after that, after my blood was drawn, you get in lines for certain things. So like I said earlier, you have your hearing, your eye, and you have like your actual physical that you have to do. So there are certain lines for it. And like the guys and the girls, you know, we can go into the same eye or hearing test. However, there were so many of us. That it took quite a long time. So I kept switching stations, like which one was shorter, which one was this. And so I want to say for the eye test, the depth of field test Y'all, I failed it. I failed it. And my recruiter told me, he was like, not many people pass it. If you pass it, kudos to you, congratulations. But I was like, no. So I did fail that one, but I mean, it happens to a lot of people. So if you fail it, don't feel too bad. But after that, so I did my hearing. Finally did my urine test. But before I did my urine test, I didn't take that test, y'all, until like 10 o'clock. I kid you not. 10. Okay? In that meantime, I peed like 4 more times after the first time. Because I kept drinking water because I didn't know when we were going to take the test, because the airman, who was a woman, excuse me, in the line, we're in the room when the armyman was telling us to call him, say yes ma'am and no sir. He said that we respect that, we appreciate that. In that same room, the lady who was the airman who was in there, she was in the Air Force as well, and she was like, she was hardcore. She was no joke. Like, it was like, alright, I do what you say, something, you know, basically like that. Like, she was no joke. And but she was like, because she was the only female there that would go into the peeing test with us. And so she told us in that room, she was like, when it comes time for the urine test, you need to be able to pee. I will not be taking you back in there. First time only. If you can't pee, you don't pass the urine test. What? So she was no joke. She was no joke at all. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I peed, basically. And I didn't want her to yell at me and whatnot. I thought that was like really close to the candle. I didn't want her to, you know, yell at me, but there were some young ladies in there who were at MEPS, and they could not pee. I'm not sure if they were their nerves or what. They literally could not pee. One of them was my roommate too, and I felt bad. I was like, cause they were getting barked at, to be honest. Like, she made them stand by the water fountain until they could pee. She was pissed. It was not a pretty sight. I was actually kind of scared for them. And the one girl, she kept mouthing back at the airman, and I was like, what are you doing? You knew we had this urine test. You know, I mean, I was drinking water consistently, so I knew I could pee, but she didn't. So like, you gonna be mouthing back at her? Really? Yeah, so you will have some in there that are, even at MEPS, are absolutely no joke. Like, just get in, get out. That's what my motto was. Let me do this, be quiet, pee, go out, you know? So after my hearing test and all of that, and my blood test and my urine test, I was able to go into the actual physical room. Excuse me. And I know I had a very serious question about Pap Smear, because I heard you do a Pap Smear. So I was pretty nervous about that. I was like, I've never met this doctor before. So, but you know, you do strip, basically take your panties off, all of that, and you put on a gown like you would like in a normal gyno appointment, basically. And so you do like put your legs up on the thing. This was my experience. I'm not sure if you guys are different, but this is what mine actually did. Put your legs up. Oh, but she touched me a little bit, but it wasn't like she was actually like looking, you know. But I was kind of uncomfortable because, like I said, I've never met this woman before. But it was real quick. It probably lasts like 5 seconds, to be honest. She checks your boobs, and she checked my feet, and let's see, you do your duck walk. I'm sure there are many videos on YouTube about that, because before I went to MEPS, I was like watching thousands of videos to see what I was getting myself into, and so you can do that as well. But you have to do the duck walk. You had to like walk in a straight line. What else did we do? Why am I blanking out? Walk in a straight line, duck walk, probably the most famous one. This, or your foot, and then you have to, like, you can't like walk normal and start on your heel. You know what I mean? If you kind of understand what I'm saying. So it was pretty difficult, and then it was the same airman that told us to make sure we pee. She made me do something again. What was it? Oh, okay. It was basically you have to stand up and have your hands like this, and you have to have one, like, say I was standing up, I have my left foot flat on the ground and then my right leg up, and you have to balance. Yeah, and then you have to hold that bad boy until she said stop. Yeah, there were a few more exercises, but they weren't that bad. I thought that part was pretty easy. It did take a very long time because she made a few girls redo it. And then you have to wait for everyone to go in one at a time to do their Pap Smear and their breast check. It took a long time. After that, got my paperwork and I went back downstairs and I checked out and I left. But that process, I won't say it was nerve-wracking, I just was really tired. But I remember, like, my recruiter told me at MEPS, there are, like I said, there are some that are just hound dogs. But remember, like, my recruiter told me, they're just doing their job. I wasn't stressing, you know, it's gonna be worse at boot camp if they're yelling in my face. So I gotta get used to the process. You know, it is what it is. It's just all mental. You know, they're not really like intentionally like picking on you in a way. Yeah. So I would say I didn't leave the MEPS building until 3 o'clock. So I was there from, I'll say 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 9 hours. 9 hours. So when I got home, I crashed. I was out like a light. I was knocked out. I was so exhausted. Because I hadn't eaten either since breakfast. So I was hungry, but I was more so tired than hungry. But I remember that when I woke up, I feasted. But my MEPS experience, it wasn't that bad. I just went with the flow. I kind of just did what I was told, and I feel like this is what you gotta do. Just do it, and you'll be great. Now, however, you know, something more serious were to happen, you know, of course you need to speak up and tell somebody or whatever. But what are you doing? But I mean, I just took care of my business, filled out my paperwork. If I had a question, I asked a question. And yeah, but my advice, just don't be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say dumb. Use wisdom. You know, just use wisdom. I feel like I covered all my bases. Yeah, I gave you some personal insight too. If you have any more questions about MEPS, leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you. And leave video request. Watch my video that I put up before this, my hair video, to get information about this style right here, these cornrows, girl. Drink some sweet tea because everybody needs a little sweet in their tea. I'm so silly. I gotta go. I gotta do homework. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. I love you. Mwah. Bye.